What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to episode 16 of Domiciled, the podcast that explores the subculture of truck drivers as well as logistics professionals, bringing their stories to the masses. I'm your host, Scott Cleary. And before I send it over to Paul, I got to give some love to Purple Squirrel. And here it is again. Shout out Chris Jolly, because guess what, buddy? Sick overlay, but it's too big. It's too big. When we bring Chris in, when we bring our guest in, we're like cut off like this. We look ridiculous. So hey, shout out. Oh man. Shout out to Chris Jolly. That was too funny. Helping us out, hooking us up with the banner. It looks great with 2, but for 3, it's a little thick. So we'll work on our end. You did enough. We appreciate that. Anyways, taking this nonsense out, bringing the Purple Squirrel logo back in. It actually does work with 2, so I'll leave it here for a minute. Anyways, Purple Squirrel represents freight agents, freight brokerages, and freight forwarding companies. If you'd like to earn more, reduce your liability, and grow your career, you should have a chat with the Ryans over at Purple Squirrel about becoming an independent agent. So what they do is they represent multiple broker and forwarding companies, allowing them to provide you with several career offers. You have options. Let them advocate on your behalf. So their website is purplesquirrel.llc. Follow the intake form in the comments, fill it out, and start your next step in your career with Purple Squirrel. So, Paul, what's up, buddy? How we doing?
Good.
So you were talking about how you got quinoa stuck in your teeth and you're sick of eating the same thing all the time?
Yeah, man, the old quinoa, broccoli, and fish, dude. It's getting old. Just gonna have to. I don't know. Gonna have to keep suffering through it. You know what I mean?
Dude, you can mix it up. It's all about the macros.
Oh, you
know
can
that.
Totally mix it up, man. But it's like it's easy to make now, so I don't really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but
yeah.
But then eating the same thing every day, I'm starting to go like, and I'm like, I'll get myself a treat. I'll be like, ooh, a protein bar. This will be sweet. This will be great. A little snack. I need to get. I gotta get my body weight in grams of protein. So like, let's see what's going on.
That's right.
Let's see what's up, and then I have one of those, and then the first thought that goes to my head is like, man, I really miss the Dave's Double from Wendy's. And then I'm like, you know what would go good with a Dave's Double?
Frosty.
Double bacon cheese. And like, you know what would go good with that? Fried chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. And then my brain just starts spinning and I'm just like, like on the Stairmaster, just in purgatory. It's
punishing yourself for even thinking those thoughts.
Yeah, no, yep. But no, it's a fun time, man. The gym's been fun. There's no one in the gym anymore.
Good.
It's so empty. Even like 5 o'clock at night on a Sunday. Crickets.
What? Crickets. Yeah. Good.
5 o'clock at night on a Saturday. Crickets. And you do like 7 a.m. in the morning.
Busy.
It's just like the get the geriatric crew in there, and they're there's one guy in there that's putting up weight. There's one old guy in there that's like,
your dad? Is it your dad?
No, it could be. He's a big dude, but no, it's there's like dudes in there like wearing the lifting belt, compression belt, all that. Got the knee sleeves on, and they're squatting like 3-4 plates, and you're like, what are you doing? How are you doing that?
My back would snap.
And now I'm assuming that they're that old. They could be younger, but like there's some old heads in there that make me look tiny.
Yeah, dude, there's this guy at the gym I go to, and I usually work out in the morning, so I don't usually see him. But the rare afternoon workout, sometimes I'll catch him. This dude's got to be, I saw about my height. He's like 6 foot, 6'1", long gray silver hair,
tight,
like tightly kempt gray beard.
He's got a nice barber.
No, like you're thinking you're giving him too much credit already. So he'll wear a super tight.
Oh,
like. I think it's a onesie. Like really? A super tight onesie, like red or blue strap.
First of all, they're called singlets.
Sorry. And then, then he'll have the matching colored tights.
That's sick.
And he's pretty ripped.
That's actually sick.
It's like,
but if you're ripped, I feel like you can pull that off. If you're yoked,
he's lean. He's lean and mean. So he's like, it's like 80s LA Fitness called. Like, we're not LA, but like basically, you know what? He looked like he belonged to Globo Gym. Like he was a senior member at Globo. Yeah, like that.
Globo Gym.
Like sure, we're better than you. We know it. No, it's like I know that like I'm sure he's a great guy, but I'm just being an idiot. Anyways,
Yeah.
Oh man.
So what's been up with you lately?
Me? No. So well, our last episode, as of today, our 15th episode was supposed to drop. It didn't because StreamYard and I are fighting. So please don't
Who's
break
winning?
my recording. StreamYard's winning, but I outsmarted StreamYard. Again, Chris Jolly hooked it up, made that overlay for us. That's beautiful right here, right now. But when we bring in our guests, we have to cut it out because there's 3 of us. So we'll work on that. But he did it, and then I sent, shout out Nick Klingensmith, Stride Motivation. I sent the long form to him to trim up for us. I don't need him to do much. We're not that fancy, so he's going to do that tomorrow. So obviously this is coming out 2 weeks from right now, but needless to say, we'll only be about a day late, thanks to the good folks that we make connections with. Again, Chris Jolly and Nick Klingensmith. Check those guys out. Both awesome content creators.
I feel like we got to have Nick on here.
I know he's been giving me crap all the time, but as I've been working with him, we do have to get Nick on here, and I'll just have him sling brokerage stories. Yeah, so we'll have fun. Him and I worked together for a while too, like 4.5 years. So he might remember some stuff. I'll remember some stuff.
Can't wait to hear some stuff about you.
Oh God, I'm just lazy. But no. So I think we shouldn't bury the lead anymore. I think we should give the people what they came here for. What do you think?
It's not us.
It's not us. This has been good though. This has been fun. I've enjoyed this. Okay, so we're gonna remove what's that?
You're a great date.
Thanks, pal. I try to be. So we're gonna remove this purple squirrel. Check him out. All right. So I digress. Our next guest, he's an interesting dude to say the least. He's a vegan. Did you know this, Paul? He's a vegan OTR call hauler with 8 years experience. But what really caught our eye and sets him apart outside of the vegan truck driver thing, which we're definitely going to make him get into, is the fact that he's also a YouTuber with about 4,000 followers. It's centered around helping folks get their CDLs and showing new wave drivers how to make money in trucking. So I think that's fascinating. He's also created, Paul, I know you didn't know this part, he's also created his own financial books and logistics load journals to aid folks in this pursuit. So he has those. I don't know if they're for sale or if they're for free, but either way, he's got them and he can talk more about that. Lastly, but certainly not least, he's married to a very loving and supporting wife and is a new-ish dad. We'll have him get into that as well. Pretty wild story around that. You can find him at Chris Lee TV. Welcome to the pod, Chris Lee. What's up, man? How we doing?
Hey, what's up? What's up? You guys missed the sunset, man, by a couple seconds. It was beautiful, but I appreciate you guys having me on. How's it going?
Doing good. It's always good to chat with somebody behind the wheel. Parked, of course.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I am, parked behind the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where are you coming to us from? You said you were outside St. Louis?
So right now I'm in Texas. I'm headed home for the night.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So you're outside. You said you're going to get home after this. How far out are you?
About an hour.
Nice. Solid.
Yep.
Good stuff, man. So I think I got to get into this. How are you a vegan truck driver? We're not hating.
Yeah.
I always, I have to feel out the vegan.
Well, hold on, Scott. Right. French fries are vegan. Like, there's a lot of stuff that is technically vegan. It's not about. It's Scott. You're thinking
that part.
And there's nothing wrong with a potato, man. But
yes, sir.
But look, Scott. It's not just. I know when you go to a gas station or a truck stop, the first thing you think about is beef jerky or something because you're thinking macro. But you can look at you. Look, I see your eyes. You're like, yes, I do want that.
I don't know. The Fairlife milks.
No, that's fair, but you also stare and heavy breathe at the pizza machine, the pizza
roller.
Yeah, the hot dog roller. Dude, those are mesmerizing. Those are. I'm a big fan of those.
So tell us about this vegan thing. How do you do it?
So I do it. It takes a lot of discipline. I had to learn how to do it because I had never eaten on a vegan diet. I've always eaten on I eat what I want type of diet. So I had to learn how to do it. I had to learn kind of what I could eat, what I couldn't eat. And then after I figured out, like you said, French fries, Paul, those were a huge thing. Every truck stop has French fries. Yeah, Wendy's, Burger King. Then I figured out just what was vegan at restaurants, like Burger King, the French toast sticks, hash browns, orange juice. I can do breakfast. Lunch, I can't do much, but then I started playing with salads and stuff like that. Baked potatoes at Wendy's.
Yep.
Then I figured like the snacks I would eat so much like potatoes, like chips, whatever type of potato I could get. Like my friends, like they gave me a nickname like a Spud because I ate so many potatoes in the beginning.
You
But
make
then I
a great
learned
Irish
like
guy.
yeah, actually I would in what is it? Is it Iowa or whatever? Like
Idaho?
Idaho. Yeah, they were like, yeah, you might as well go live there. Um, but just getting away from potatoes because my body started to change. I'm eating like way too many greasy fried foods. It's still, not the healthiest lifestyle. Even if you switch from like vegan or carnivore, you have to still watch what you eat. So I've always been like more health conscious. I love to get in the gym and work out. So me kind of seeing my body change, I like kind of blew up and got super big, and people were like, "Yo, this is like the biggest I've seen you ever." And that happens in trucking. So I had to kind of reevaluate and like look, and I started kind of going and eating like more Mediterranean foods and like Indian food and stuff like that. As I learned like what I could actually eat because I'd never done anything like that before.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me about that. I mean, when I talk to folks that are driving a truck, at least through this experience, right?
Right.
I always wonder where's the time, because you think like when I think about being healthy, right? The first thing that comes to mind is like with food is like it's like prepping.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Food, right? Just like at the end of the day, like, do you really have time to,
Like I have the easiest life ever as far as like my calendar, and I still bitch about my own food prep.
Yeah, but like food prep, you gotta cook the rice or the quinoa or whatever you're cooking. Maybe it's wild rice or something like that. You gotta prep the veggies, right? Or you could cheat like me, and I'm a big microwavable veggie guy. The frozen veggies, that's the best. And then the rest of it's like a protein, right? And you can totally like you can get into tofu if that's your jam. I'm a big fan of it, but like
I'm not a fan of tofu, man. I can't do it.
Really? I've had it deep fried a couple times where I'm like, ooh, like at a Japanese restaurant where they'll like that.
You
like
made me eat that.
Yes, I did make you that, and you hated it. You hated it so much, but that was like silky tofu where they put like it's kind of like fermented a bit. But no, it's like I feel like I'm going through all this in my head, and I'm like, where do you find the time, Chris?
Okay. So as far as protein, my biggest protein source is garbanzo beans, like so chickpeas. I eat a lot of hummus. I have like cans of hummus in my truck. Just I'll eat the chickpeas out of the can if I have to. To get that protein intake. Yeah, for sure. Black beans are another source of protein.
So what's that sleeper? What's that sleeper smell like, bud?
What does it smell like? I spray. Oh yeah, with all the beans. Yeah, I definitely have my Febreze spray like right on top of my head. Like I keep this stuff right here.
No free ads.
There's a funky smell, man. I'm spraying it down. Like as far as prepping though, it has to be done. If I want to make sure to make a lifestyle change and make it work for me. If I see a Walmart, I don't really shop. Like I used to shop at Walmart. And then I went to the oil field and I started shopping a little bit more higher class at the Market Street, right? So it was like good fruit, like really good fresh fruit. And what I would do is like I kind of would, get like a couple things of hummus. So that's like 10 grams each. So I got like 30, 40 grams of protein right there. I'm putting that in my salad. Peanut butter is another one. So I'm eating like
big fan
crackers with peanut butter, like Velveeta crackers. I love Velveeta crackers. They're vegan, so they kind of taste like the Teddy Grahams. I used to love Teddy Grahams as a kid, right?
All right.
I'll eat those with peanut butter, just to like get that protein intake. I haven't started protein powder with this like new kind of 2025. We're all trying to get right, but I haven't started protein powder yet. That does come in like handy. But as far as meal prep, like I'm getting lots of hummus. Amy has a soup. It's like this brand called Amy, right?
Yeah.
She started off with soups, right? Yeah, she started off with soups, and those soups are like I used to eat those soups a lot. Now she has bean burritos. So I'll go like now to HEB. Yeah, for sure. Like 9 grams of protein each. I'll go to HEB. I'll get the whole thing of burritos. Like it'll be like 9 burritos in the bag. I'm taking them all because I'm trying to get that protein, right? So I'll get like
how does that last
I'll
you?
get my hummus. So I'll eat like 2 a night if I need to.
Okay.
So I'll do, you know what I'm saying? I'll do that with like some hot sauce to kind of give it more of them. So it's not as mundane, right? Because it gets boring. Like when you just try to eat on a consistent, normal basis and you're eating the same thing over and over. You gotta add some mustard. You gotta add some hot sauce or some sriracha or something.
These things are everything.
To like kind of wake your mouth up.
Yeah.
So right now I'll do salads. I'll get a bunch of salads. I have bags of salads. I have my fridge right here. So I'll have salads. What else do I do?
Yeah, like a hot plate for anything?
I have a microwave. I have a microwave back here. I have noodles, like cup noodles. So if I get like super desperate, there's these curry cup noodles. I want to show you guys this stuff. Hang on.
Yeah.
Wait, I have you here. I have
I love this.
Oh, okay, look. Yeah, so I have these curry noodles, and then I have oatmeal, right?
Oatmeal is the goat.
Oh, king.
Yeah, for sure. Like, so you can still. This is like the junk food right here. So these are.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever heard of these.
I had those. Those are good.
But these are vegan, bro. Like they had the puffs for a while, and I ate the puffs. There's like 3 grams of protein per serving size in here, and there's 5 servings. Okay. So I'll binge out and eat. You know what I'm saying? I'll eat that. This is like a vegan noodle, right?
It's those are great.
Yeah. So in here it's 8 grams of protein in here. So I'm getting, you know what I'm saying, like the protein. One thing I have to do watch out for is the sodium, right? Yeah. Like right there, this is a bad night for sodium intake right here.
Yeah. Your kidneys are like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Right. And I'm sitting in the truck all day. So I have to make sure to get, active. But I'll eat like one of those and eat like a salad to kind of.
Yeah, you gotta get some fiber with it. Yeah.
Get the sodium out of that.
So Chris, I'm hearing you talk about your diet, and the first thing that comes to my brain is like, I think you and I are similar. I actually feel better in the gym when I have a larger amount of carbs than when I have a larger amount of fat. Like there's some people that like a low carb, medium amount of fat. I'm more of a protein and carbs guy, and I don't. Sure. I can go in off of like, I think it's like maybe 8 or 9 grams of fat the whole day, maybe. And it's like, but no, it's fine because I feel great on that, as opposed to like when I've gone the other way and I've gone like really heavy on red meat. I don't like if the one time I bought the 85 lean on accident, or 85 lean on accident, and was like accidentally bought like 5 pounds of it from Costco. I was like, guess we got to do this. But no, I'm definitely thinking about how we're similar there. And the thought that comes to mind is like, how do you get to the gym? I mean, tonight it sounds like you're crossing through your home territory, but when you're not, how are you?
In the gym, I have like what you call it in my truck. I have these bungees,
weights,
right?
bands.
I have the bungees, and I have this big baby right here.
Oh, kettlebell.
Pound kettlebell that I just got. I also just use like body weight for calisthenics. Like, so I'll hang on that top bunk, and I'll get some pull-ups in. I'll do dips off of the bottom bunk. I'll do tight push-ups. I'll do push-ups off the bed. I'll do like ab workouts. There's a little step stool right here. You saw me step up there, so I'll do step ups. I can do lunges in here. I have a jump rope. I can get out, do cardio. I'll turn on like an hour playlist and do like walking in place. So I'm really like, there's no excuses at all for eating healthy, for staying fit. Like, there's really none at all for me.
I love hearing you say that, Chris, because it's all about what you're willing to do and sacrifice. I mean, I still, the alarm goes off in the morning and I don't want to. But, you have to, right? And it's that discipline. Right, you don't want to, but you still have to. And that's so cool to hear that from you, because it sounds like I would make a bet that spills over into other parts of your life, that same discipline that's the food, right? Because it sounds like this vegan thing was you making an active choice of saying, this is how I want to eat. And it sounds like this, you working out, you said, I'm making a decision. This is how I want to live. I would bet that's also that also spills over into how you drive, how you interact with folks, how you keep your truck clean. Your truck is very organized from what I'm seeing. You go right to where things are. You know, you mentioned that it's very clean. There's a lot of things unpacking here, and it all sounds like that. So
you're not even ruminating in your own farts.
Well, you know,
no, windows down.
Hey, he's classy, Scott.
Yeah, you gotta keep it classy with the
somebody does. So Chris, you've told me about this part. Tell me about how that spills over into being a professional truck driver.
So yeah, of course, like it's more discipline, you know, especially with a car hauler. I'm besides the pre-trip, that's a given. Just making sure that my load is secure, you know, as far as loading the cars correctly, unloading correctly, making sure that all VIN numbers and stuff like that match, that I'm picking up the correct cars, and I'm presenting myself properly at, you know, some shippers and receivers, so that they want me to come back. You know, they're asking, you want them to ask for you, right? You want to be that the go-to person. So I definitely try to, you know, build those relationships and you know, be that guy.
Yeah, Chris, it's funny you say that. I got my start in sales selling cars, and I can remember the importance of, look, when a guy comes on a lot and there's over $1 million, you know, a couple $1 million worth of inventory on the lot, and you've got a truck driver that comes on and they're delivering your vehicles that you've got from auction, you want them to be squared away, or you start wincing every time a car comes off, because, you know, you're like, oh no, because if you back up into that, it's not just one issue, right? It's the multiplication of both that are now damaged, right? Right. You don't know how much someone's got in that vehicle, but yeah, that makes total sense. Could you tell me more about, you know, you're saying you're doing like, you know, car hauling or auto hauling. How often are you going between dealerships? How often is that from an auction or a manufacturer? What's that experience?
So I'm on a specific account. It's very, it's almost like being spoon fed into the car hauling industry. So I'm like going from like the same like set of stores. Like it's one of the national brands. I don't want to kind of put it out there too much, but it's one of the national brands. And so there's like, I'm going from their store to like one of our hubs as like the company, but it's still their hub, right? So I don't do too much of like the running and trying to find cars. They're like, hey, here are your cars. We got them here for you, or we're going to pull them up for you. Just you check them out, make sure there's no damage, and get to load it, and, you know what I'm saying, get down the road.
So you've got a consistent route then?
It's very, well, as far as the route, no. In the past month, I've been to Kansas. I got caught in the snowstorm out there for 3 days. That sucked. But, you know, I made sure that I was prepared before, because I knew 2 weeks before the snowstorm came that there was going to be a snowstorm. So I had all my soup and, you know, like toiletries, like toothpaste, and I had like extra socks. So I'm like, I'm ready for it. So I sat in my truck for about 65 hours through that snowstorm in Kansas. Then I come home, and then the storm, I followed the storm to Dallas. So then I had to come home. I sat in the truck, well, for another 3 days. And then
another 3 days?
Another 3 days. Like it's been terrible for like my financial side. I'm just like, I need a break. Like, I need a loan. I need something. But it's you know, it's just being prepared out here really helps with everything. You know, the more prepared you are for like this lifestyle, and I've been doing it for 8 years, right? So I've seen my share of snowstorms. I've been like on a mountain and run out of gas and had to siphon diesel out of my reefer trailer into a 5-gallon, you know,
just fill it up.
That's crazy.
100%. It was a wild time, but those things, like, they build character, and if you're able to push through those moments out here, then that kind of, you know, it sharpens you, it calcifies you, and, you know, it makes you a truck driver, like those types of situations.
So what was the toughest thing? Like, you just named off some crazy stuff. What was the toughest experience you've dealt with? Is it the one you mentioned, or is it a different one?
toughest experience like out here on the road might just be like like I talked to you before, Scott, about just breaking down. Like breakdowns hurt. Sitting for 3 days, I'm cool sitting for 3 days if I've broken down for 2 months. I had a back injury last year, and fortunately enough, I had short-term disability, so I had to sit out of the truck for 6 months. So that's where it hurts. Like when you're not able to do the job that you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, are you? If I'm reading between the lines, I haven't asked you yet, but are you an owner-op? You were running for this company?
No. I'm not an owner-op. I was a lease operator. I leased, I think, about 2 trucks in my driving career. 3 trucks. The first truck was the one I should have kept, but I got the shiny toy syndrome. I wanted a new truck, and it kind of went downhill from there. And then I kind of went back company, did some flatbed, leased a flatbed, and that truck, I was in there, Tucson, Arizona. It broke down. It started breaking down like periodically, and then it just really broke down in Tucson, Arizona. I was out there for 2 months, which was really unfortunate, but I stayed resilient. Luckily enough, I had credit cards. I should have just went home and got a new job, but I wanted to, prove to myself that I could do it, and I got through it. I came home. My wife had been, 9 months pregnant at the time. The day I left Tucson, it took me probably like a day or 2 to get home to my pregnant wife. The day I got home, our daughter was born. So like I get home, I'm like, yo, finally I'm home. Bags down,
baby's
shower, bed, wake up, gotta go, baby's here. And I'm like, yo, like this, are you serious? Like I literally just got home, like, but it's
no rest for the wicked.
Yeah. That's awesome though. Congrats. How long ago was that?
That was February. No, she was born in September of 21, sorry. Now it's 25. But so 9/21/20, 9/25/21. That's what it is.
There it is.
9/25/21. Okay, gotcha.
That's
Gosh,
awesome.
so from the breakdown in Tucson to a year and a half after your daughter's birth, you didn't sleep.
Pretty much, because look, after because she was a NICU baby, so after she was birthed, I had to I was like, I'm not leaving. Like I'm not leaving my wife.
Of course.
So or my child, so I'm like, yo, I have to kind of like sacrifice some more. I have to, so I stayed home for like another couple months just to help them and help the baby, until she got out of NICU, help my wife out with whatever issues or whatever she needed, because it's kind of a hard time when things like that happen. So it was like I went from 2 months down to like another 2 months down. So it's been, like I said, it's been ups and downs. As long as you keep that medical card and you keep your CDL, you can always come back to this industry. Is really what I love about it. Like no matter, you just don't want to burn bridges. You don't want to burn bridges too bad. You might be able to burn a couple bridges. You don't want that to be a consistent thing.
Well, sometimes someone else burns a bridge, right, Chris? It's not even you.
True, yeah. That could be true as well. Yeah, but whatever you can do, I've owned a moving company before I got into trucking, and customer service always got me through like predicaments that I never knew that I'd get in. Like if it's always yes sir, yes ma'am, if it's always like, hey, let me just do this extra thing for you. Let me put your bed together. Let me put your table together. Let me go the extra mile. I think that really, it leaves a good impression on people. So it often leaves that opportunity or opportunities to come, tenfold.
Where'd you learn that? Because I feel the same way. Wow. So where'd that come from for you?
I think just maybe, I guess maybe the way I was raised. I think my aunt Charlene really instilled like that type of energy. The yes sir, no, yes ma'am, being polite, having manners, being respectful, and things like that. My aunt Charlene did that.
Aunt Charlene, shout out on Charlene.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, Chris. I mean, because Scott, you and me are pretty similar with stuff. I mean, it's do it or don't do it. Chris, it sounds like you it sounds like you have a similar feel there, and I feel kind of validated in my earlier statement that it sounds like you're kind of through and through a stand-up guy. Hey, don't we all? But I guess the question then is, you seem like somebody that pays it forward, and Scott mentioned earlier you help folks out with with your YouTube channel and things like that. What's that like? Have you ever had anybody that you've helped out kind of reach out and be like, "Hey, I got this figured out," or
Yeah.
And if so, what did that feel
like? So I've had guys, since I've like kind of turned on the camera and started talking to that lens. People watch those videos and they're able to relate. They're able to get information that they were looking for, and that was me just like looking back and being like, hey, like, come on, Mike, this is something that you can do. This is something that if I can do it, definitely you can do it. But it was just just something that was in me. I had to get out, just like the book. It was something that was in me, and I was like, I couldn't go to sleep. I didn't sleep for a day when I created my book.
That's how you know. Whatever the thing is, you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know what I can't. You're in the zone. But when I was motivated, I wanted to always kind of like make YouTube videos. I started with moving company videos, and I like started like with marketing and things like that. I really used to love marketing like a lot. So trying to figure out like how do I get people to come? Like how do I get people to click? How do I get people to watch? So like I was really into that, and I was like, well, when they come, like what do they do then? So then I was like, okay, I definitely want to help people. So those things kind of clicked up, and I think that's why I was able to get like so many views and so many subscribers, because it was just me being honest about like what was going on in my life and how I got to where I got. But yeah, as far as like success stories, like I've had like a lot of testimonials from guys saying like, hey, like whatever you were saying, like this really helped me out. Or what this pushed me in the direction to do like a flatbed or something like that. I'm gonna kind of move the camera. I feel like it's getting kind of dark, but this pushed me in the direction of like to do flatbed or to get my CDL and go into trucking or start putting money in my 401k or get a life insurance policy for my family. Like, those are things that in like certain communities, those things aren't talked about. It might be kind of cliche or there might not be as much education on that, but if my video can help someone like figure it out, I'm like, oh, like kind of that's what I should be doing, and point them in the right direction. That's what I make the videos for. I had a 17-year-old. I helped him get his CDL. He watched my video, and when he was 17, he got his CDL maybe when he was 18 or something like that, and he's been out here ever since. Like it changed.
Can you get it at 18?
Yeah. So you'll have an intrastate license and not
an
license.
Gotcha. So you can 18
leave the state. Yeah, you can leave the state. But he still was able to get out there and make some good money at 18.
I think 18 too. If you're gonna do that early, I think it should be. I mean, there's this. It's not like anything. It's not a simple solution. There's nothing simple, right? Like I think it should be 18 across the board. If people are saying there's a driver shortage, which we keep hearing there isn't, so it's a turnover issue. They say, which I can see, and enough people are saying that I'm like, you know what, I'm on that team. But if people are saying they need more drivers, which we don't, then shoot, just open it up. But I think for 18-year-old intrastate is good because they're still young. 18, like you're not a man or a woman yet in this world. Like you're just not, right? So it's like it.
I didn't know anything.
I still don't know anything. So I think I think that's good. Like within the state, you're probably semi-familiar with it anyway because it's where you live,
right,
or where you're from. So yeah, I like that. Cool. All right, well that's awesome. So is that the one you like to talk about? Are there any others that stand out? Because that is cool.
Recently, I've like kind of been playing with the Chat GPT, and I've been listening to like a lot of podcasts. So I've been experimenting like with this theory that if you start like when you're like 18, 21, you get your CDL license, right? You give up your apartment, you give up the car note, you give up like all the big bills, right? You start putting that money into like an investment account, 401k, or like what is it like?
The Roth.
Either like a Roth where you can kind of invest in the stock market via like ETFs and index funds, right?
Yeah.
You can do that for like, do it for 3 years, right? So if you're making $80,000 a year, you're not paying a car note, you're not paying an apartment, you're paying subscription, maybe you're paying your phone bill, whatever. But a lot of that money you can invest, and then in turn, you can invest for $1 million if you really stay down and work hard. You can invest like a couple $100,000, you know what I'm saying? And by the time you're 70, that will definitely be $1 million. Or you can invest, like I've been looking now into like dividend stocks. So you can invest to where you're getting reoccurring dividend to pay you, but you've stayed down so long, like you've invested for like 10 years. So you're 20, now you're 30, right? So now you're pretty much set for life. You've made a sacrifice that, one thing about me is I love to plan for the future. I love like to make sure that if I'm going to be hungry later, for breakfast, I made dinner. If I'm going to come home and I want to be calm and peaceful, before I left, I made my bed, right? So when I get there, everything's ready for me. When I get there, it's all prepared. I can relax. I don't have to stress. That's like the last thing I want to do at the end of the day. So at the end of the road, right, I don't want to stress about money. I don't want to stress about, I want to make that sacrifice now for my future self, for my kids, or, whatever's going on. So that's really what I like to talk about. I have a couple guys that one of them took the advice, he gave up the apartment and he's out here. He's a car hauler. He got me into car hauling. So I got kind of presented that to him. I was like, hey, like, check this out. Like if you give up your apartment, his car was paid off. If you give up your apartment, you can start paying off debt. You can start saving like crazy money. Car haulers make really good money. I have another guy that he's starting to drink he's starting to drink the Kool-Aid. So, and he's like, yo, I've talked to a couple of people about your idea, and they're like, you should have been doing that a long time ago. Like right now, you're kind of wasting time. If you want to own a house or things like that, like it's not getting easier. So how do we as truck drivers make it easy for us? You pay off that debt, you pay off student loans, you get, into investing in, like I said, the Roth IRA, the 401k, and, at some point, like you get your credit right, you have like a nice little savings up. You really don't, you can go work. You can go and, once you've had everything, you got everything stored away, like a squirrel or whatever in the winter. Now you can do whatever you want to do, right? You can go to school, you can do whatever you want to do, but you sacrifice, that for that like little bit for the longer term, for the bigger picture.
Yeah, you just said something that
Paul's aroused hearing all that finance stuff.
No.
Oh my goodness.
But aroused is
he loves
strong.
it. I make strong statements.
Chris, it reminds me of something that someone told me recently. You ever heard of the marshmallow test?
No, never heard of it.
So it's something that I want to say that they do it with kids.
Okay.
And it's basically they put a marshmallow in front of a kid, and they say, if you wait, they don't tell you how long, I'll give you 2 of them.
Right.
Now, to be clear, I would have failed that test.
For
right?
sure.
But they say that they seem to think, from what was told to me, they seem to think that that's a predictor of like intelligence, maybe like intangible, being able to sacrifice now for later.
Yeah.
Because the kids that wait, right, they get 2. The kid that doesn't gets 1. It's kind of like
instant gratification.
Yeah, and it reminds me of something my parents used to say about, you don't sacrifice the permanent on the altar of the immediate. In the sense that, it sounds like you've really got it down, and don't just have it down for yourself, but you have it down for, get it to some other folks to say, hey, if you just suffer a little bit right now, just a little bit, and it's not cool being in your 20s and not having a place, or maybe it's not this, but your 30s will be really awesome if you're able to do this. And it's funny when I think about it, it's like thinking about, I got a buddy who's a plumber, and I remember, I met him like my first month of college, and I remember him being like, oh, this isn't for me. Right. And so he went and became a pipe fitter, and everyone was kind of like, oh, Like, you're not going the traditional route. You're not this, you're not that. He worked at it for years. And then he was like, I'm going to start my own business to our friend group. And I remember people being like, oh, that's so dumb. You don't even know what you're doing. And he did it.
Man.
And now he's got his own plumbing business and he's doing great. Yeah. And he's my age. He's 29. And so you think to yourself, like, you're going to get, I'm sure that a lot of the people you're talking to and yourself, you're all getting, you get a little flashback on that. Oh, no, that's not the way. That's not normal. But, it sounds like some of that discipline that you were talking about earlier comes into play there, of saying, like, hey, if you stay disciplined and committed, big change doesn't happen all at once. That's called luck, right? Like, big change happens from doing the small things you're doing over and over again, like brushing your teeth. You know what I mean? It's like something simple and little. But if you do, you brush your teeth once, they're not going to be white. You do it for, you know what I mean? You do it for 10, 15 years, they're not going to be as yellow as everyone else's, right? It's one of those. But
still won't be white.
No, but I still like the kind of the narrative you're sharing of around this. I think it really resonates. And I think you're totally right. I mean, I think that the other piece too that I really think is great about what you're doing and what you've shared with us is, when I was 18, I didn't know what an index fund was. And like,
neither did I.
No one did.
I knew
right?
Stocks existed. That's it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we all saw Wolf of Wall Street, but like, that's not the point. Point is it seems really cool that you're looking at this and telling somebody, hey, if you start now as a youngin', like, look where you'll be. And compounding interest is that's a
real thing.
Really, that's like one of the wonders of the world, I think.
Yes. And like, I think back, like, man, I should have started that at 18. I should have started this at 18. But starting it's better than not starting it, right? So I just think it's so cool you're getting to some folks earlier in their lives when they're just starting out as young men and young women that are saying, like, I really want to figure this out. I mean, trucking's brutal, right?
It is.
But not everybody wants to, get out of the truck, park it after running 1,800 miles, and then have to go get in the car and drive to the hospital, right? Like, everybody's got their own thing, but that's a tough life to run. That's not the typical, white collar office job. But
I wouldn't have it any other way, Paul. I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's what I like to hear. That's so then I guess I ask this question a lot. Scott, you do too. What do you tell young kids or young guys when they're thinking about getting into this space? How do you, because I talk to some people and they're like, oh, I tell people not to get into this. Don't
or like right now, don't do it. Or Yeah,
but they're not car haulers, though. I'm realizing.
Right. True.
All the people we've talked to that are in a niche market or in a specialized, they're happy.
Yeah. Right. Like like the fuel hauler. Yep.
Yeah. So like what I would tell them is just get rid of everything. Like I said before, get rid of the apartment.
Sell it all.
And get rid of everything. Like,
so I'm sorry, this is a dumb question. So you're living in the truck?
Yeah.
Me?
Okay.
Myself? I would. But there's a bed back there.
But, yeah. But I'm saying, like if you're saying you sell the apartment, like you're living out of your truck, essentially.
Yeah.
Correct?
So you're gonna live out of your truck for the first 1, 2, 3 years. You're gonna really understand yourself, understand your finances, understand how money works, understand, how this industry works. Like, really deep dive in. If this is
you'll learn
really
a lot
what
about yourself too.
You really do. I would tell them to, like, watch motivational videos, watch motivational podcasts, financial videos, financial podcasts, journal, write, just, flesh stuff out so that you can kind of reflect, so, you don't get it too far into your head. It's easy to get lost and, become something else out here. It's really easy to disconnect yourself from society, right? You don't want to do that. You want to still be able to, like, have that, where you can interact with people and still live like a regular life. But you want to have a plan, like you want to have a plan, you want to have goals for the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years. And then you want to make sure that you can break those goals down and meet those markers. And, just like you said, get your tanker, get your hazmat, get your doubles and triples so that you're kind of unstoppable when it comes to getting past your first year, then looking for something more specialized. Because like you said, the niches are riches. The riches are in the niches, right? That's what they say.
Hey.
So for me, It took me a while. I did reefer first. I did intermodal. I went and did some flatbed. After flatbed, I got into the oil field. I did the oil field, and I got into food service. And then I got into car hauling. But I figured out what was for me, what wasn't for me.
That's my favorite answer yet to that. That was
for sure.
I'm leaving Revanova. Oh, no sweat. Actually, you're actually like louder now, so that's fine. But no, dude, I decided I'm getting my CDL. I'm leaving Revanova. I'm selling it all, and Emily and Bella are just gonna have to figure it out without me. I'm sold.
Oh wow.
Because I got some savings. I'm just gonna hop in. We're gonna learn this. 2 years living the truck. Meditate a lot.
Yeah. You already do most of those things, Scott. Yeah, but no, Chris, that's awesome, man. I love to hear all that. I guess the only other thing I'd ask is, we've gone through quite a bit here, and I think we've got quite a bit of content for this. But I guess I'd ask you. We've talked about your diet. We've talked about working out. We talked about discipline. We talked about how you got into this space. We've talked about how you help others. What do you think we're missing, or folks that would listen to this are missing, to get the full picture of who's Chris?
Yeah, so like I said at the beginning, I have a YouTube channel. I have tons of content. TikTok is back. Praise the people. Praise that guy who brought TikTok back. We got TikTok back, so I got tons of videos on TikTok. I have free. I have the books. The books aren't free as far as like the load journal, for the logistics load journal, the financial planner for truckers. Those aren't free, but I do have free products to get you to help you get your CDL for free. I have free products on like kind of the investing thing. I have free products on just a bunch of other things in my link tree. And I love when people download them, because I'm like, okay, like your wheels are turning when you see my content and you're ready to change something. You're ready to do something different. So, I love getting those notifications if someone's downloaded something free, because I know like it's going to make you think different. You're not going to be the person that you were 2 seconds ago once you read like my freebies.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess, how could we, how could people find those things? Like if you were promoting that on this call, where would they find that information?
So my website, chrisleetv.com. I'm Chris Lee TV pretty much everywhere on the internet: YouTube, X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. I don't think I'm on Snapchat with Chris Lee TV, but Blue Sky, like all the social media apps. I try to kind of cover like all my bases and put my link in bio. So wherever you see like whatever content, like there's always a reference where you can kind of like do a deeper dive, right?
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Very cool.
It's so cool.
Oh, I love it. Well, hey man, I know that you're getting home after this. You still got a little bit of a ride, so we don't want to keep holding you.
Right on.
Paul got your info so people can find you. Any shout outs that you'd like to give to anybody that you can tag and give them the shout outs, anything you want.
So as far as shout outs, wow. Like my wife is like my biggest supporter. And
very nice.
One of her coworkers that retired, Mel, she's really supportive. She buys the books. She just shout out to my trucker guys, Samuel. These guys, they buy the books. Pierre Whiteside, he's insurance. He sells trucking insurance, but he also is working with financing, like heavy equipment financing. I recently did a podcast with him. Crazy how we met. Yeah, like these people, they support me. I support them. I really appreciate like the people that are around me. So yeah, those are people I like to give a shout out to.
Cool, man. Awesome. Well, hey, that's Chris Lee, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find us on YouTube, LinkedIn now as well. That's newer. Got the old pods releasing every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What else? We got YouTube, we got LinkedIn, we got Instagram for Reels, putting up some throwbacks on the Instagram Reels. We'll be having some new content soon there. And
Spotify.
Yep, Spotify as well. So for the long form, I don't know why I'm blanking on our social medias. I've flipped around them. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, and everybody have a great day.